What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You're dead meat!
Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today, we're going to be looking at Ghastlies from 2016. Yep, we're back at it with the Gremlin ripoffs. And this one's a real piece of work. Ghastlies is directed by Brett Kelly, who you might know for making movies like A Ouija Shark, Raiders of the Lost Shark, and a bunch of other garbage. And this one is no exception from being plain garbage. Bad acting, bad effects, and yeah, pretty much. However, I actually have some kind words for it. I actually found it to be pretty entertaining, and I think this movie is a so bad it's good kind of situation. The story follows 4 sorority girls, with the main one being Abby, as they go on vacation to a remote cabin. However, while they're there, they get attacked by creatures known as Ghastlies. The Ghastlies themselves, even though they look really ridiculous and are very obviously fake, I actually think they're pretty unique in design. Another plus to this movie is there's actually a lot of blood and gore. All the kills are very bloody and not, like, disturbingly bloody, but all the kills are, pretty good. How many kills will the Ghastlies rank up during their vacation? Let's find out. Get to the kills. The movie opens in the woods 5 years ago, where we see a satanic ritual going on. One of the people then walks over and grabs a chained up woman and places her on a table, and the ritual begins. But as they're doing so, a UFO comes out of space and flies down to Earth and hovers over the barn they're in. This disturbs the ritual, so one of them walks outside to check, but they don't see anything. But we then get a first-person view from something running towards the girl, and eventually it slits her throat, killing her for the first kill of the movie. And we then cut to a title card! We then cut to the present day and see one of our characters, Sloane, doing an exercise, and her creepy boyfriend Brock sneaks in to stare at, I'm sure you can imagine. And after this weird scene ends, we then cut to a car and meet the 4 sorority girls. After meeting Sloane, we meet characters Lou, Margot, and our main character, Abby. They're currently on the way to a cabin Sloane rented out for them for the weekend. They then get to the cabin, which gives me some weird Evil Dead vibes. All of them then make a promise to make this the best weekend ever, and then they head over to the hot tub, which was revealed to be a tiny little pool with a dead gopher inside, or stuffed animal, which it clearly is. They then unpack and head inside, and they figure out whose room is going to be whose, and Abby ends up getting the smallest room. That's fair. And then we meet the neighbors that live next to the cabin, Ted and Jean. Everyone heads out to the little beach, and eventually Sloane comes up to talk to Maggie, and eventually she explains a story about how her dad died on Christmas. Wow. I wonder what movie that idea came from. And later that night, Maggie heads out to the tool shed, I guess? There's no clarification why, because they don't even explain it. It just kind of cuts to them later that night, and suddenly she's already on the way. It's kind of out of nowhere. However, she's out there, she finds an old TV and a cassette tape. She inserts it and sees the footage from the girl that was at the beginning that was about to get sacrificed, and she explains how these little creatures came out of nowhere and started attacking, and that they're here to take over the human race and kill every man, woman, and child, and she needs to stop them. And then later, when she's walking back to the house, she trips and loses her glasses and ends up grabbing a hold of some sort of hatch. And after she retrieves her glasses and leaves, the hatch starts to open up and smoke comes out of it. And when she gets back to the house, she finds her friends in some sort of fake ritual, personally inviting her into the sorority club. I guess she was a new member. And later, they hang out at the campfire. And then we see Margot's boyfriend Doug on the road, who sees a hitchhiker in the form of a pizza guy, but doesn't let him in. However, suddenly the purple Ghastly appears in the middle of the road, which causes Doug to crash his car. And when Doug gets out of his car, he's attacked by the yellow Ghastly, who slashes him on the face. And after this, we get our first shot of the yellow Ghastly. And Doug is then attacked by another Ghastly and is killed off screen for the second kill of the movie. And back with the other characters, they get startled by Brock and his friend Pete. We then cut back to that random pizza guy as we see him being stalked by the Ghastlies. The pizza guy then starts acting like an idiot because he thinks a bear is in the forest next to him, but then he meets the Ghastlies.
Whoa. What are you supposed to be? Look, if you're hungry, the pizza's over there. You like pizza, don't you?
The pizza guy then tries to leave, but he turns around to see the green Ghastly. And the Ghastlies then attack him.
I'll wait until the next car comes, and then I'll thumb a ride. You know, thumb?
The green and purple Ghastly then kill the pizza guy by ripping off his fingers and legs for a third kill of the movie. Back with our other characters, we see Maggie and Pete begin to really connect before Pete is dragged away by Lou. Margot then gets really concerned about Doug and heads inside to try and call him, and we see the yellow Ghastly stalk her from the window. And we then see these really goofy-ass cops, or if they even are cops, Officer Frank and Officer Vinny. While they're looking around, they find a slice of pizza on the ground from the pizza guy, and one of them decides to just eat it off the ground. What the hell? Oh, and also they completely ignore the pizza guy's body. Meanwhile, Sloan and Brock head inside for their own action, but then Brock goes back outside to smoke, and he encounters the purple Ghastly, who attacks him by biting his finger off, and then chases him deeper into the forest before finally killing him. Back with Sloan, she spots the green Ghastly hiding amongst some plushies, but then just throws a blanket over him. But after she lays back down, the green Ghastly vanishes and climbs up the blankets and kills her by scratching and slashing her over and over again for our 5th kill of the movie. And back with the other characters, they decide to head back inside for the night. Inside, Pete goes to his room, while Maggie goes into the bathroom to get spruced up, because I guess she wants to go tell him she likes him, I guess? But while she's doing that, she notices Lou heading over to his room. In the room, Lou gives Pete a drink, and Pete catches on that she's trying to seduce him, so he declines. Lou then heads outside angry, but then the green Ghastly suddenly comes up and starts weirdly licking her shoe before she's attacked by the purple Ghastly, who knocks her to the ground and uses a plastic spoon and shoves it down her throat, killing her. And then we cut back to those cops playing Mad Libs, and it's kind of for no reason. I mean, it just comes out of nowhere. It's probably to push the runtime of this movie.
This is so good.
Well, come on. Read it out loud. Don't just laugh at it quietly to yourself.
All right, here we go. The little old cabbie who lived in a speaker decided one day to shoot a treehouse he found. It was the first time Satan managed to puke all the way to the top. Once there, he scratched out onto a meatloaf and said, "What an aquamarine day we're having." The farts that lived in the wasp's nest told him to say hello to his armadillo. They always appreciated how squishy she was to them.
Meanwhile, with Margot, she wakes up outside and heads back inside to try and call Doug one last time. And then she goes and wakes up Maggie.
Jesus Christ, Margot. You scared the crap out of me.
Sorry, Abby. Are you sleeping?
Boy, if you don't get...
Pete then walks in and they find out that the phone's been broken. And they also realize that everyone else is missing. Pete and Maggie then go get the car keys while Margot stays on the couch. But then from under the couch, the green Ghastly grabs Margot by the leg. When Pete and Maggie then arrive back with the car keys, Margot snatches it from them and runs outside and is immediately attacked by the Ghastlies. Pete and Maggie then run back into the house but are spooked by the green Ghastly and they immediately run back outside. Back outside, we see Margot's intestines have been ripped open and she falls over dead for the 7th kill of the movie. As Pete and Maggie run out into the woods, we get a good shot of all 3 Ghastlies next to each other. Officer Frank and Vinny then show up at the cabin and think some illegal things are going on, so they head inside and are attacked by the Ghastlies, and then we get the worst acting in the whole movie.
Hey, check it out. We're surrounded. Oh no. Watch out for the tiny creatures.
Finally, the Ghastlies kill them, with the green Ghastly ripping off Officer Vinny's head, and the yellow Ghastly using Officer Frank's guns to shoot him in the face over and over again. Back outside, the Ghastlies somehow randomly appear outside and start attacking Pete and Maggie, with Pete getting killed by the green Ghastly who gores into his back. And while Maggie's running away, she's attacked by the yellow Ghastly who attempts to shoot her, however it turns out the gun's all out of ammo. And then with those random neighbors, Ted heads outside and encounters Maggie, who tries to explain what's going on. And then Ted manages to shoot the yellow Ghastly in the eye. But then it's revealed that Ted and Jean work with the Ghastlies and they lure people in so they can kill them. And then Ted points the gun at Maggie. And then the Ghastlies eat Pete's dead body. Ted and Jean then lead Maggie over to that hatch from earlier and they force her to get inside. And then a bunch of UFOs appear and start circling Earth. And then it cuts to what appears to be Maggie suiting up to hunt for more Ghastlies. But then it gets even weirder as it cuts to a weird Ghastlies cartoon. How many people did the Ghastlies kill during their vacation? Let's find out. Get to the numbers. Aw, man. Look at this poor animal. This poor dog. Oh, poor thing died. Well, gotta get to the numbers. 10 people died in Ghastlies, and none of them were Ghastlies. 6 of which were male, and 4 were female. Golden Chainsaw actually has a lot of options, but I'll give it to Officer Frank, since it's the most bloody and brutal in the whole movie. And Dull Machete for lamest kill goes to Lou, since it was the only kill that didn't have any blood. And that's it. Ghastlies came out in 2016, and I think it's a so-so movie. Next time, we'll be looking at Pumpkinhead 2, but until then, I'm Hardcore Fan. See you next time.